You make my world a better place.
Come on, there's your girl.
I can depend on you.
We're going to do everything we can to try and save this little guy, but he's not in a good way at all.
In this episode of Bondi Vet, Alex's all-night vigil to save a baby koala abandoned when dogs attacked his mum. Danni treats the victim of a cat fight with a close family connection.
Let's get starting.
And we go behind the scenes to discover what's involved when filming a dangerous story for Bondi Vet.
I've just been told there's a little koala baby that's come in. Mother's abandoned it, was being attacked by a dog, so don't know what kind of state it's in. Oh, hey, how you going?
Alex,
oh, sweetheart.
Just had this little guy brought in.
Oh, mate, you're tiny, aren't you?
Very tiny.
Okay, is he in a little pouch or something? Or is he
Just
just
in
in
my
your
cardigan.
shirt, is he?
Just
Oh.
getting warm. He's really
Okay.
cold, poor little darling.
Okay, let me just take him. We'll get him on a little hot. I know, little guy. I know. Oh, he's cold as anything, isn't he?
Yeah.
Let's get him through. All right, little guy. Come on. Let's get you through. God, he's so tiny. And he's freezing. I know. Hey, Tiff, I might just need a hand. Can you grab me a little pouch for him? He's really flat. Oh, mate. You poor thing. Just want to wrap him up a little bit just so he feels a bit secure. Hey, mate. I know, dude. I know. Yeah, let's get him wrapped up. When I first take a look at the Joey koala, I'm really concerned. He is so tiny and he's very, very cold. That's it, that's it. If I hold him, can you grab me some, like a hottie or something? He's just freezing cold. Okay, hey little matey, you poor thing. Yeah, this is the problem. This is what happens when, unfortunately, the mums get attacked and they just drop the Joey, or the Joey falls off. He may have just fallen off and the mum takes off because of the dogs. She's threatened and this is what happens. So we're going to do everything we can to try and save this little guy, but he's not in a good way at all. Hey little guy, I know. He's also a bit dehydrated. I don't know how long he's been out there. Unfortunately, this type of situation is all too common as urbanisation starts to encroach on the koala's territory. What I'm worried about most of all is I don't know how long since he's actually been abandoned.
Yeah, he's very small too.
And his skin, he feels dehydrated, and so I'm worried that he's actually, just physically he's not healthy. We do need to get a weight on him. Do you reckon you could get some scales?
Yeah, I'll get the Aussie scales.
Yeah, and we'll give him some fluids as well, but we're probably going to need to warm those fluids up. Yep. Jackie, can you just fill me in a little bit more on what the Good Samaritan said happened?
Yeah, sure. So they've come in and they said that at this park and they saw the adult koala go up in a tree and further out into the bush.
Yep.
And they didn't realise that the baby had been left behind until birds started attacking it. So they obviously picked it up, put it in a towel, brought it to us so that we could help it.
Right, okay. That's fine. So he'd been probably on the ground and it's
Pretty
raining
cold
out there.
outside today, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that he was so cold when I picked him up from them. But
Yeah.
that's why you saw him in my cardigan trying to warm him up.
No, you did the right thing. Joey koalas stay in their mother's pouch for the first 6 months of life, and this little guy is nowhere near ready to be in the outside world. Just his body condition is worrying me.
Oh, he's so small.
He's just skin and bone. Hey, I know. Okay, what do we got there? About 100 and... Oh, wait, little guy.
180. Oh, we're going down.
160, I reckon, 160. Even with our best care, there's a chance that he may not survive.
Oh, my heart.
First thing we need to do is warm this little guy up, and the best way to do that is with body heat.
Thanks, Alex.
All right, you take care of him while I go call the zoo.
All right, little man.
See if you can warm him up.
This place for you is down my shirt.
All right, thanks, Tiff.
No problem. Oh, it's my pleasure. All right, little baby. Here you go. Hopefully he'll be warm enough in there.
So I'm going to give Australia Zoo a call. They are the experts when it comes to looking after these little guys. And so I'll just be guided by them about what they want us to do and what they want to wait until they can get help here to get him up to the zoo. These guys are, they're in trouble, their numbers are in trouble, so every life is precious when it comes to saving the koalas. So if we can get this little guy through this and up to them, it'll be a win. Hey there, it's Dr Alex Hynes here from the Animal Emergency Service. How are you? We're fortunate there's a koala hospital not too far away. We've just had a Joey koala brought in to us. He's really cold and in a bit of distress. We're just trying to warm him up at the moment. So just wanted a bit of guidance from you guys about what you'd like us to do. He'll require a lot of attention and feeds every hour. That's a big job.
We actually have a koala carer who's not too far from you.
Okay, yep.
So would you be happy if I get her to touch base with you guys?
Yeah, definitely.
And then she'd be able to get it and keep it overnight and
okay.
get it up to us in the morning.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That way you guys don't have to worry about feeds and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know they're kind of pretty tricky to do all that. No, I'd definitely like to be able to leave that in the hands of an expert, like someone who does this all the time.
She raises them from teeny tiny, so...
Wow. Koala Hospital has organised for a carer to come down and collect this little guy tonight. Let's have a look at you. How's he doing in there? The vets at the Koala Hospital agree that this little Joey needs warm fluids, so we're going to administer them under the skin before he leaves tonight. That's it. Hey matey, you feeling a bit warmer? Look at you. When I spoke to Deirdre, the carer, she said almost certainly he just fell straight out of the pouch. He would have been too little to be out at this stage.
He's
So
way too small.
let's just find a little bit, nice bit of skin there.
All right, baby. That's okay.
Okay, good boy. Good little chubby. I know. You got a good set of lungs on ya.
I know, so cute.
There we go. That's good. Hey, yeah, I know.
Little squeaker.
Here's a little squeaker. Hey. Well, let's hope we can get you through this. Hey. Deirdre said at this age they were thinking about going back and seeing where the mum was, but I don't think he's got much chance of being reunited with her, so they'll probably take him up to Australia Zoo in the morning, feed him through the night, take him up to Australia Zoo in the morning, and then...
I hope he survives.
Yeah, well, they've got, I think he's got his best chance.
Australia Zoo, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, such fragile little creatures, that's for sure.
Where's your mum?
All right, you're going to put him back down his shirt?
I'll put it back down my shirt. Come on,
She should be.
bed buddy.
She should be here any minute. So, given this little guy some fluids, now Tiff's going to look after him until Deirdre, the koala carer, arrives. Thanks for coming to pick him up.
No problem.
He doesn't have any injuries, but he was pretty cold and pretty tired in there. Little guy. He was pretty noisy when he first came in.
Yeah, yapping and carrying on.
So you'll feed him through the night tonight?
Yeah, I'll keep him tonight.
Yep.
Take him up to the Australia Zoo while the hospital in the morning.
Perfect.
And go from there. Hopefully, I'll probably keep him, and
Yeah.
fingers crossed he'll do well.
Yeah,
Little ones like
I
that
hope
are pretty touch and go sometimes. So
I
I'll
can
just
imagine.
stick
All right,
him-
I'll let you. Yeah. Do you want to put him in a little
Just
pouch?
stick him in his little-
Perfect. There you go, little guy.
Come here.
Here you go. Do you go head down or?
Oh, he'll go in anyway.
Really?
Dude.
He'll
He'll probably go in head first. Doesn't want to.
I don't want to. Okay. he's got a mind of his own, I think, this little one. He's like, nut bum first, thank you.
Bum first, in there. There you go.
Aww. See you later, little guy. Take care. I know. Hey, you hang in there, little man. Although he's only been here a short time, Tiff and I have become really attached to this little fighter, but I know that Deirdre is the best person to look after him from here.
I'll get a little bottle when I
Really?
get home.
Yeah.
He probably hasn't been fed for a while.
No, we did
Fed
give
his
him a little
mother?
bit of subcut fluids, just
okay.
under the skin, but yeah, that was just what Australia Zoo advised, but
Yeah.
otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll look after
Great.
it. Deirdre says she'll keep me updated on the little Joey's progress. We've all got our fingers crossed that he's going to pull through this.
What we do today is do a little behind the scenes of making of a Bondi Vet story. And this particular one is dealing with cassowaries. So we're going to be putting both the male and female cassowary together and the risks in that. And that's Nick, who's shooting our female cassowary. So you can see their feet, and it's their feet that are the problem, because they've got a huge claw on those feet that they like to rip people apart with if they get the chance. Certainly they'll have a go at each other.
One of the very few animals that scare me.
This is Tim Faulkner. Now Tim's going to be he's leading the charge, so what he's going to be doing, what are you going to be doing today, Tim?
Cassowary introduction, and that essentially means putting two of the world's most dangerous birds together and hoping it goes well. We pulled Obi out of retirement. Hi Obi.
How you doing?
And Dean's a cassowary man.
Hey Dean. So microphone's going on. In other words, you want to mic people up so that we can hear what they're talking about, because once we're in there, it's all just going to happen.
They're two blown eggs. Blown means they're infertile. You drill out, suck all the goodness out, and they're going to be dummy eggs to get our male cassowary excited. They're from Haley, and I've been given strict instruction, if they break, don't ever show your face around again.
So what do you got there?
This side we have cassowary egg.
Yep.
This hand we have emu egg.
They're going to break. You're going to break them? They're going to break. There's no doubt about that.
She's probably had them close to 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah. From
So
Wonderland.
I've promised replacements, which he said is not acceptable. You got some sticky tape? Whoa!
What do you got there, Tim?
Be a cassowary, mate. This is what happens. Get out of there. Get out of there. Cassowary shields. You know, dangerous bird, and they kick. So you go behind this, and then at worst, you drop down and lie under it until Obi comes and rescues you.
When you are, Tim?
You jump in with the dinosaurs. And give them to Dino. You'll need that. When you're a cassowary and you're in a dense rainforest, traditional sound like a squeal doesn't work. So when you have an incredibly vibrating call, it penetrates and goes through the forest. That's how cassos talk to each other. So we don't really know right now whether that was I'm the big chook in town, or she's been doing that reproductively because it's the right time of year. But either way, it's a little bone chilling.
Do this and then we'll do a pick-up on that.
Yep. Do a pick up
Yep,
on
great.
So let's just have a quick recap. We're going to put Cassie into the holding yard. We're going to let Cooper into Cassie's yard. We'll have to plant the eggs between, see what happens. Then we're going to let Cassie out, and then we put them together.
And just wait for sorry playing.
Today we're introducing our pair of cassowaries. For the last 11 months, they've been separate. They've had a barrier that they couldn't even see each other. We've slowly taken down the barrier. They're showing a bit of interest, and today we let them together for the very first time. You have to be aware that in a split second that cassowary can turn, change behaviour, and be attacking you. It can be right on you, both feet up in the air, kick after kick after kick, and that won't stop when you go to the ground. Beck, you'll have to just move.
So Tim, what have you done here?
It's quite an easy system. There's a rope on the gate. We've opened the gate. Cassie, she knows what's going on. So Dean's going to lure her in with a little bit of food, and as soon as she's in, but not too early, we're going to pull that gate shut. It's the easiest way to do it without having to go in with the cassowary. Okay, just come around here for a minute so she can't feel your presence there, please. Yep. We like to spend as little time as possible face to face with the cassowary.
I'll get some shots down here. Let's get a couple of shots through there of her.
She's on to us. Cassowaries are one of the smartest birds on earth. And you see when she walks, she looks at us, she looks up at the rope, she looks at the gate, she looks at the food, and she really has an ability to problem solve. That in itself is pretty fantastic. So now we'll put the eggs in, get out, let Cooper in, give him half an hour, and we'll put cassowaries. So cassowaries don't build a nest as such. What we have done is, years ago, we put some logs back, we built this area up with mulch, deep in the forest, it's flat, there's a little depression, if the eggs sit on that, what I want to see is Cooper come in and show interest. If he doesn't, it's kind of telling, right? He's not ready. So let's see what unfolds.
What we're doing here is Tim has placed a couple of eggs in a nest, and we're hoping that the male cassowary, that's him over there, Cooper, is going to enter this enclosure and make his way down and see the eggs.
Have a quick look, just while we're getting that female ready. Come and have a look at what... And it's quite telling, and he'll let you know. If he looks at it as food, he'll peck it hard. If he looks at it as an egg, he should just gently touch it. Look at that. That's really good. So, and look at that big eye, big brain. You know, he's really thinking about that now. And if this was on the ground, I would like to think that he comes, rolls it, nuzzles it, and treats it like an egg that he's potentially going to incubate.
So now we've got the male in the female pen and the female in isolation over there.
You just want to feed him? Just hold it like that. He's so more delicate than the girl.
And when you want him to go to the eggs, we need to disappear to a degree, you know, just remove our presence and he'll go and investigate.
So we've left the cassowaries to their own devices, and now we're just going to head off and see whether and there's Tim, and see whether he takes an interest in the eggs.
He's wary of the cameras. Here we go.
So while we wait for him to investigate the eggs, we've set up here on the bridge. And that is what we're looking at. We can also hear him growling at the moment.
Cassie's coming, so just keep him pushing, mate, hard.
Come on, mate. Think on. Forward.
You right with him?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, no, that's great. Let's rock and roll.
So this is Nick, who's filming the cassowaries, who we're hoping to get back in, but Tim's had to go in there and separate them. They're up there. Let's get starting.
Hey, look, hey, got him, mate. Hey.
So the cassowaries have just had a little fight, and they're trying to separate them because that's not what they want.
Atta boy. Woo!
Well done, mate. There's your heart.
Did the noise come out of it? Yeah, when he bellowed in the corner.
Yeah, I got it on your mic.
Yeah, my whole body was going.
Yeah. My ear hole was vibrating. That sounds zero.
And action.
Another day in the office, boys.
Good day.
Good day.
How'd that go today, Tim?
Oh, it went well. I mean, you know, it's easy to get caught up that they had a little fight, but both are okay. The reality is we picked a day, we had a copulation, which will result in an egg laid, should be fertile. That's a successful day. You know, I mean, around long enough that you can have 0 to 100, and we didn't get a copulation, and you got cassowaries that are in a really serious fight, and it can go, I mean, you're dealing with very dangerous animals, not just to us, but to each other. So today was a good day.
That's us finished for today. Good day, Nick?
Yeah, good day.
Cool. What about you, Sal?
So good.
Yeah, so who gets a gold star? Me or him? Phil or Philip?
That's it from behind the scenes on a Bondi Vet shoot with the cassowaries. Hope you enjoyed it. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
From this venom that we milk today, they'll create an anti-venom that will go to saving lives here in Australia. We're the only place in the country that milks terrestrial snakes for that anti-venom program, and we're very proud of that here at the park. We save, on estimate, between 300 and 500 lives every year. We're going to milk 3 snakes: the tiger snake, the 4th most toxic snake anywhere on the planet, the coastal taipan, the 3rd most toxic snake anywhere on the planet, and the king brown, which is about the 12th or 14th, depending on who you talk to. So the 3 snakes that we're milking today are all incredibly dangerous. If one of us get bitten from one of these guys, we're going to have a very bad day. So the first snake we're going to milk is the tiger snake. So as I said, the 4th most toxic snake on the planet. Yep. So we use our finger as the target. The snakes aren't a stupid animal. They don't want to bite the jar, they want to bite the finger. So the finger's the target, and at the last minute you do the old switcheroo. There we go. So we'll give his venom glands a little bit of a massage, just nice and gentle. And you should see a couple of little droplets of venom in the bottom of the jar there. You can see it, that nice kind of lemony lime green colour, just floating around in the bottom there. That's a substantial amount of venom from a tiger snake. So ready, steady, go. So that makes sure he's not going to come up and try and bite me. Now, get the hook. Beautiful. Now on to snake 2, and that's going to be our king brown. Yep, give it. Because he's a bit stronger, we've got to lock him in under our arm. See if we can get him to bite. Ready, set, come on buddy. There we go, you can see that nice yellowy venom just pouring in. This venom, as well as being neurotoxic like your tiger snake, this one's got a couple of bits of cytotoxin and hemotoxin in it as well. So it's going to mess up your blood, but it's also going to start doing a lot of damage to any muscle or skin tissues and stuff like that. So if you get bitten by one of these guys, a lot of people have lost fingers and stuff like that from this species. There we go. Come on. Now, the next snake, we're going to up it again. We're going to use the coastal taipan, so 3rd most toxic anywhere on the planet. And the one we're actually going to use is right behind me here, and he's the current record holder. Now, he gives a phenomenal amount of venom, so wish us luck. So you can see he's a lot more aware of what's going on. Hell of a lot smarter than that of the king brown or the tiger. Yep. Right, so as you can see, quite a strong animal, and he shouldn't need a whole lot of encouragement to do the biting. Come on, buddy. There we go. So we're going to give his venom glands a little bit of a massage. So you see that venom just pouring in, trying to stretch out a bit more. There we go. Realistically, this amount of toxin would kill a couple of 100 people quite easily without treatment. I'm going to get Brandon to put the back end in for me, and this is where it gets a bit tricky. Now I'm going to have to wait for him to pull away from my hand and get that door shut real quick. Come on, buddy, come on. Ready, steady. Always gets the nerves going, those ones. I'm exceptionally happy with today's haul. We've got a phenomenal amount of venom from all 3 of the species, and that'll go to saving someone's life in the not too distant future.
Oh mate, it's your own fault. This is what happens when you're fighting with the neighbours. Get your shoulder fixed up, bro. So my best mate Harry has a bite on his shoulder blade, and yes, it hurts him, but the real reason I'm here is because it stinks. I think it's infected. When I touched it, it just seeped pus, and it's quite challenging for me and him. So I've had Harry for about 13 years. He's the ginger ninja. He's had a few busts up. He's thrown himself off a couple of balconies, broken some legs in the past, and he's really friendly if, of course, you don't want the skin to be on your arm, because he'll scratch it off That's his usual welcome to guests. Good news is you're going to recognise the vet.
Come on in, Harry. Hey, Julesy, how you going?
I'm glad I get a hello as well. Good to see you.
So who should be coming in the door but my brother-in-law, Jules, with his cat, Harry? All right, let's get you out there, Harry boy.
Thank you for this, Danny.
That's okay. Harry. So what's he been up to?
You have a look. I mean, you will know. I think he's just got a cut on his shoulder here, but it's
Mate. Oh.
it's just a bit feral.
Oh,
like
yes,
it's got pus on it, and it's in an awkward spot where he can't lick it.
Yeah.
So he wasn't. Oh, that stinks. That's the real reason. That's the real reason I'm here. I mean, sort him out, but get rid of that smell.
Jules, what a wimp. Yeah. Carrying on like a pork chop. Oh, Jules, you got to toughen up.
He's not even bothered by it. Seriously.
No, he's a tough cookie. Yeah, no, it certainly looks like a little ruptured abscess there. Hey, I think he's been up to a bit of mischief out and about.
Yeah, so he's got a frenemy next door called Clyde, a black and white cat, and they biff on.
Oh dear.
Harry wins.
So it looks like Harry might have been getting up to a bit of mischief lately and got himself a little cat fight abscess. Now, I do want to check him over. He's been well otherwise though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's
no
great.
other
And he's
concerns?
actually, like, genuinely, he's not that bothered by this. He's just
Yeah.
licking it. He probably would have cleaned it up if he could have reached it better.
Cleaned up just the ooze on the external part, but not within the abscess itself.
Right. So what do you...
might be worth having a bit of a flush. Cat bites can be really deceptive in that you will see a small little hole where that tooth has gone in, but potentially a huge abscess has spread along the length of their body. Oh, okay. Let's just check you out. All right, mate. Just giving Harry a good once over just to make sure there's no other issues going on. He hasn't got any other wounds that are hiding, which still may sort of rear their head down the track, because unless you clip the whole coat, you do miss the odd little puncture. Hey, you just got to check you over. Just got to. I think he's already decided he's had enough of me.
No. What you need to know about Harry is that none of my friends like Harry. Like, they walk into the house, pat Harry, Harry rips their arm apart. Like, that, his natural instinct is to sort of just bite you when he's overstimulated. So what's happening right now is absolutely incredible, that he's just purring and we're holding him. But you can only expect him to behave for so long. See, he's pretty good about
He
pain.
copes very well.
Like, I would think that would be agonising.
It would have been really sore when all that pressure was building before it's ruptured, and then after it ruptures, it does.
Yeah.
There's some relief, but it's just getting it all resolved so that it all heals up well. The abscess has already ruptured, which is good in that it's a nice relief for Harry. It would have been quite uncomfortable before that. But we certainly still need to do plenty of cleaning up there to make sure that we can get that abscess to heal well. Punctures, they'll look like just one little puncture, and then there's this abscess that tracks all the way back.
Righto.
So we just got to make sure, because otherwise, if we leave it,
Yeah.
it can become a systemic infection and get really sick.
Okay, well, we
So
don't want that.
we don't want that.
He's tougher than I thought, to be honest, and he doesn't like being touched. So the fact that he hasn't attacked us yet is a good sign. And to be honest, it's because he knows Danny. Sorry, Dr. Danny.
Harry, look at all this fur you're leaving behind. We may not even need to clip you after all, hey? Oh, you sweet boy. Harry is doing really well. I was expecting Harry to be quite the vicious patient in the vet clinic. Oh, Harry. Whilst Harry's coping very well and is staying quite docile, I'm not going to take any chances. I don't want anyone getting bitten today, so I'm going to bring in some reinforcement to make sure everyone's safe. Swap around. Hannah, got you helping us here so we don't have any issues, Harry. All right, now I'm just going to clip. Sorry, Harry.
God, he's had it for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, it would have taken some time for that abscess to actually form and then rupture. Most of the time cat abscesses are only discovered once they start to rupture because they're so tough.
There's the length of that scratch.
I know, he's copped it pretty bad there. Most of that scratch has actually been healing up nicely. I'd be on the lookout for other lumps. That'll be the first thing you feel that.
Is that just another scratch?
Well, I think, yeah, it's sort of...
Healed scratch.
Having a look through Harry's coat, I'm finding more and more little scratches from all his rough and tumbles with the neighbourhood cat. He's always in the wars, it seems, this Harry boy, so hopefully we can keep him out of mischief for a while. All right, here's the fun part.
Go for it.
While I'm actually doing the treatment, Harry is incredible. I've never seen a cat this tolerant of this sort of procedure. I'm blown away. I'm just flushing it to try and make sure we get all the pus out. Otherwise it sort of stays in there, yeah?
So why isn't that hurting him as much?
Oh, I think it is. I think he's just stoic as anything.
Yeah.
He's just a tough...
Yeah. You're probably right. Come from a tough family, Harry.
Yeah, so that's looking a lot cleaner. All right, now we'll just give that a bit of a scrub and then we're done with all of this part. Beautiful. So I'm happy with all of that.
So
that's nice and clean now.
So that's how you... So that's because you're going to leave it open and everything?
Yes. With any abscess, it's really important that you don't close it over. You don't want to bandage it or stitch it up. You need it to continue to drain to release all the bacteria and inflammatory gunk so that it can heal up nicely. The antibiotic, mate. 1, 2, 3. Are you brave?
God, he's tough.
He is a tough soul.
What'd you think, mate? The hardest part was just catching you and putting you in the cage at home.
That would have been fun to see.
Well done, Danny. Seriously.
I don't think that's Harry. That's all
God.
Harry. Good boy.
Turns out he might not have liked that after all. If he's
always easy to get him back in there at the end.
Is it?
Oh, every time.
He's just going to be wrapped. Like he'll be happy now. He just needs to get home, chill out, relax, watch some TV, probably fight with the neighbour again, show off his battle scars, and get on with what he does best, which is sleep.
See you later, you two.
Thank you, Danny.
Thanks
That's great.
Leaving this mess for me to clean up.
Yeah.
Keep out of mischief.
Me or Harry?
Both of you.
My name's Brooke. I'm one of the birds and mammals keepers here at the Australian Reptile Park. One of my absolute favourite things to do here at the park is to get to take these two little guys for their walk every day. So on the right here, we've got Bondi. He is about 7 months old. He's a little Palmer Wallaby Joey. I've had Bondi for about 4 months now, and Elinta there I've only had for about a month. She's still pretty new. So hopefully he'll have a little bit of a munch on this carrot here. Carrot's one of his favourite foods. He absolutely loves it. It gives him a lot of nutrients, and it's like they would naturally be eating some roots. It's just a root veg. To hand raise these two wallabies, it does take quite a lot of work. These two do come home with me every night, so that way I can actually feed them through the night as well. There is definitely a lot of sleepless nights. Getting up every 90 minutes, it does take a lot of work, but you get used to it over time. Yeah, essentially it is like a newborn baby. Kangaroos, wallabies, koalas, they do all have the potential to throw their joeys. Sometimes they can feel something's wrong with them. Mum may not be handling it, Joey may not be doing too well. We're not 100% sure what happened with Bondi, but unfortunately was thrown from the pouch, forced out of Mum's pouch, and we've been hand raising him ever since. Now I've actually got his bottle of milk. You can see he's very eager for it, so we'll let him have this now. I'm actually feeding him a special milk formula, much similar to what Mum's would be at this stage. Loves it, nothing can disturb him during his bottles. That's it. That's not yours, you've had yours. This is little Elinta. Now she's a little bit shy. We've only had her for about a month or so. She's our yellow-footed rock wallaby Joey. So the biggest difference with these two is you would never see them together. The yellow-footed rock wallaby, as the name suggests, live right up in the rocks, compared to your Palmer wallaby who like scrublands in really high dense areas. So it is really unusual that you would see these two together in the wild, but they really have become best buds. So the rock wallaby is just learning to hop, so as you can see, she is still quite unsteady on her feet. Budai's got a couple of months left of being hand raised, whereas Alinta, she does have still 4 or 5 months to go. Both will get released back into their enclosures with their families where they originally came from. I will miss them, but it is a great outcome. So she is getting a little bit cold now, so we will put her back in her pouch. She'll jump in herself. Now we've just put Alinta away, now we've got to go find where Budai's got up to. It's one of his favourite things. He loves to just get out, bounce around, and it's really good for him. We don't want him sitting in the pouch all day, as he will develop some muscular issues. Let's get you back in a pouch, shall we? Alright, let's get you guys home. Alinta, one day when you're all grown up, this will be your home.